Hello and welcome to how I play my level 90 Shaman. So we're gonna get right into it here. So if you want to see how I do this in like actual gameplay and not me just telling it, you can watch the Hobbs and Friends series, and they will that series will describe a lot of this and show in actuality how this actually works. With that, I'm gonna just cover the spells, the hot bars, and you know, all the little doodads we got as a shaman. But the real meat of it will be later, and I'll show some healing, how I do the actual rotation and stuff like that. So, first up, spell we're using is Reckless Mending, or rank 2. So. At level 90, we got our first Reckless Mending line of spells. Now, this spell line continues from here all the way to 125, and most likely beyond. And this is going to be our bread and butter healing moving forward. But at this point, we only have one. We need, I think, 3 of them is where I settled at 125 for my shaman there to be able to comfortably do stuff. Maybe 4. Just depends on how fast the recast timer gets on these, but this heals for 8600 damage, and you can see here what if we where's my tank here, we'll heal him real quick. You see there, we're at 100%. Now we're down to 94. So you know, you're losing health as you cast with this, but with renewal, group renewal, which is the next spell we're going to talk about here, going at all times, it's not too big a deal. This is the group torpor. It does 2200 damage a tick for, what is this, 1 minute. 1 minute duration with all the extra benefits from AAs and focus on the gear. So the damage you take from this is not that bad, right? It's gonna get healed up instantly, as you saw. We don't have any, I don't think I have like Paragon or anything going. No, I don't. So it's just the standard, you know, workflow. And I do have this as the second spell in my rotation. Ascendant Intervention. This is another heal. This is a group heal that will heal whoever is the lowest of the group, right? It's kind of a smart heal, I guess, but it heals everybody, but the lower the health, the better they get. I just use this on cooldown because it seems to work really well for my playstyle, saving my Shadow Knight's life. Next up, I have Single Target Torpor, which is a 2200 per tick heal, compared to the... They're literally the same now. Alright, so before, as we got to this point, right, the heals were slightly different in level, but apparently now they're the same, so I'm probably not gonna even need to memorize this going forward into the 90 plus, unless the new one at what 94 93 is going to be, you know, different. But one thing to mention about those spells, especially the group version, it is actually the focus spell for the level 105 focus that will give us more healing. So that is something to keep in mind later on. So this spell we cannot drop ever because that is how we heal long term. But this one I think I can drop it, and I probably will once we get more reckless mendings. Now I have quirks. Mending here, this is our single target heal we've been using for a while. We've been using the mending line of spells. I believe this is equivalent to the, you know, the greater heal line of spells that we've gotten over the time. It's just become named mending. So and so mending, right? It's okay. It does 6400. Reckless does 8600. So you can kind of see here, like the reckless line is where we're going long term, but you know, that we still need a little bit more healing. Now, I've been doing the grounds with these guys. They're all level 90. And I haven't had any issues up until, I think it was like 85, 86. It was touch and go. I complained incessantly about how bad Shaman healing is. It's not, I don't even notice it anymore. So going forward, I feel we're in a good spot. But I am still using that right now. And then next up, I have Dean's Venom, Hex, and we'll go to skip down here to this last one. Spine Chiller's Blood. So these are all rank 2. These are the dots that we have available to us right now, and they all do about 32, 36, and 3200 damage per tick for well, this one's only 12 seconds. What? That's the wrong one, actually. I don't know what happened there. Let's see. Poison Nectar is the one I wanted, I think. Yeah, 3600 over 42 seconds. I don't like the fast casting dots. I'm not sure what I did there, but I was just changing all these up recently to move a spell down. So yeah, let's do that a little bit better now. There, now we can see it. So you can see here that we have a lot of dot damage, and if we cast all 3 of these, right? So I have a dots macro here, cast 12, cast 6, and cast 7. So if we target the target dummy over there, so let's get these on there. Let's look at spell damage, and you'll see kind of how much damage we actually do when we can do damage. Now, I don't typically do a lot of dotting with my Shaman. In a group situation, nothing is living long enough for these dots to last half the duration, let alone anything else. And the other dots, the 12-second dot or whatever, that's 2 ticks, right? That's not, like, by the time I cast that, the mob's dead, right? It's just not even worth my time. But we're getting like 36, 37, 35, 39,000 crits. So it's pretty nice damage overall when it comes to this spell line and stuff like that. So stop him. Come on, back off, you silly pet. So I have some dots, and then we have Frozen Gift, which is a unique spell in the fact that it is a healing twin cast that is a target of target heal. What is a target of target heal, or target of target kind of thing? So when I'm healing, I have to target my target, right? Like I want to heal my Shadow Knight, I have to target him to heal. Now this spell will take his target of target. So you can see here the main assist target, which is my Shadow Knight. He is targeting this combat dummy, right? You can see this little main assist circle around it. And I'm targeting my Shadow Knight. If I cast this, it hit him. And then I get a healing twin cast, 2 charges right here. So the next 2 heals that I do will be twin casted. What does that mean? My Reckless, my Mending, and I believe it was one of these group ones. I think it was Ascendant's Intervention. They all twin cast. It's insane. But you can see that nuke alone did 25,000 crit, right? So it's a nice little spell to have. I do it on cooldown. And as you saw, it is a near instant cast at 0.85 seconds. So not quite instant, but you know, it's, I mean, 8,000 damage for doing nothing is not bad at all. And then Lethargy here is our proc slow. This is pretty much the only way I slow at this point. I feel like I feel like I don't need slow on any of the stuff I am fighting. Now, as we get into harder content, when we get into, you know, the 110 plus content where we're going to be fighting bosses and stuff that are in specific missions and stuff like that, where it's a little bit slow might become more important again. But the only slow I'm doing right now is this, and this is a buff you put on your tank, or whoever's getting hit, right? Could be your pet if you're soloing, right? But you're probably going to use a real slow if you're using a pet to do anything. But it is it's pretty good. It's 240 charges, I believe, and it slows. It's probably like a 20% slow. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's great because I like to pull a lot of mobs, right? I like to pull 3 to 5, maybe sometimes 6 and 7 mobs, and they're all hitting on me, and they're all going to get procced on. And so I don't have to like AoE slow. I don't have to do anything except heal, and I like it. It works for my playstyle. Talisman of the Tiger is a group buff that increases, what is this? A proc for extra damage. This week turned into something else soon, I think at like 100. It becomes Roar of the Lion or something like that. And it becomes a better spell. But right now, this is still like our Panther line. I try to keep it up as much as I can. But in DPS parses I've seen, it's not really doing a whole lot of damage. Overall, it's not worth me stopping to do something else to cast it, right? It's like 1% of the damage of my bard's damage, right? But it is damage, and it is a nice proc, and all the pets will proc it too. So when I cast it, everybody in the group gets it, so that includes pets. So and then here we have Ancestral Convent. Yeah, I think that's Convent. This is our current level. Cannibalize. It's not too bad, right? It's what? Can't even tell. 1800 damage. So it's just extra mana. I actually have it in my rotation so that I'm constantly getting mana back, because by the time it gets cast, like all this other stuff's down. So right now it works pretty okay. I'm not gonna say it's the best, but it's, you know, I have it on my bar right now. And then Spine Chiller Blood is that last dot we talked about. So those are the everyday carry spells I do. Like, I don't change it from this. Now I do buff, right? I do Spirit of Taltak. I do use the pet, which the current pet is Words Faithful. We currently don't have an updated pet haste, so it's Spirit Quickening, which I don't even know if I need to cast that anymore. I'm not 100% sure if it adds any benefit, because we are getting haste from the Beast Lord pet. We're getting haste from this Pack of the Wolf here, and we're getting haste from the Bard. So I don't know if it's necessary to cast it on the Shaman pet, but I just do it because I literally have it a macro. I click it and I go do something else on a different character, right? And then we do the current level focus, which is Talisman of the Soul's Unity, which is just all this Shaman buffs in one single spell. All right, so that is like all the spells. Now, rotation wise, it's pretty simple, right? I have one button I press to heal. Now I use IS Boxer to multi-box in the game. I play from my Shadow Knight Hobbs here, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm only pressing 5 right now. So we'll talk about all this, how it goes as we do this, but I'm only pressing the 5 button. So first button, Mending, Reckless Mending, right? Intervention, Group Heal, Cannibalize, whatever that was, Frozen Gift, Intervention, Mending, right? So you can kind of see here how this goes. Reckless is back up, cast that again, back to Renewal, right? So this is pretty standard, you know, rotation here. There's a change from how I had it before. In the previous video, I had, I believe, Renewal first. Now, I started running into a situation where I was pulling so many mobs that I had to wait like 3, maybe 4 spells before the actual Quirks Mending would go off, until I got Reckless Mending, and I was like, oh man, it's getting kind of dicey. You know, I wasn't dying, but I felt like I was taking more damage than I needed to at the time, so I've switched it so that Reckless Mending goes first, and then everything else. And then by the time Reckless is back up, Frozen Gift should be back up here. You can see here, like, we just used 1 charge on something. I don't know what it was. Quirks Mending took the other one. So Reckless Mending. And then by the time we get that, yeah. But those are all getting twin cast healed. So it's pretty nice, right? Quirks Mending is going to take 1. There we go. And then Reckless Mending takes the other. So it just depends on, you know, where you at in the spamming of this button here, right? So let's take a look at what's actually in here. So we have Reckless Mending followed by Renewal, Frozen Gift, Intervention, Mending, and then we have Ancestral Aid, which is a group heal, AA, Rapid Bear, because why not, right? It just turns me into a bear, gives me a little bit more melee prowess and stuff like that, and This does something else. It's hit point regeneration by 1300, which I feel like that's like the only reason to use this because I don't melee with this guy. But that gives me what is my melee regeneration at right now? 600. So this number doesn't seem to be accurate right here, but I'm regenerating, you know, like the entirety of Cannibalize 5 and, you know, 2 or 3 ticks while I'm doing Reckless Mending. So it's not I'm not really losing too much there, right? Here, let's do this. Ancestral. So Cannibalize there. So we're down to 75 and we went up to 84. 86. Come on. 92. So you can see there, it's our ticks up per, you know, mana regen is, I mean, HP regen is pretty high. Then we have Ancestral Guard, which is just a, it's a buff that protects me. I wouldn't cast it otherwise. I just cast it on cooldown. I don't really take any damage. If I do, something went wrong. So that's kind of like the way this works. I focus on healing only the Shadow Knight, and if something happens to him, as I pretty much wipe. That's how I play. Union of Spirits is another heal. This one's a targeted heal that does 4,800, then 2,400 over time, along with some extra stats, right? Then we have Cannibalize here, and then we go into Intervention. This is the second intervention, so this will cast the same Ascendance Intervention. You get 2 cast different timers, so it's kind of nice. And then we have Call of the Ancient, which is a stationary ward, which will heal for 1,200. Pretty nice. Like when I'm a fresh start on something, and I pull a big pull, right? Like all my cooldowns go off. It's beautiful, right? It's absolutely beautiful. I can get some real good healing out of that. And then finally we have Cannibalize, what is this, 8? That does 21,000 health for 11,000 mana. So it's, you know, it's okay. I like it. I use it on cooldown, and pretty much that keeps me at full mana. I don't ever dip in mana. Now, on my weapon, I do have sympathetic healing burst, which will heal whenever I do anything. And there's another one that does poison, so it might help, it might not. I don't really do a lot of damaging spells except for Frozen Gift, and that's about it. So it just depends on if it actually counts the heals or not in that. All right, so that's my rotation. That's how I do it. So hotbar buttons wise, right? Like I have a debuff button that'll slow and mallow, so like soul and mallow, and then spirit call, which is a swarm pet. So we just send that out there. I also have that on my pet attack button here to swarm pet. Swarm pets, more pets that are attacking the mob benefit my mages that I box with. Also, the more pets in the mob, the more damage they do. And let's see here. That's about it. Like hotbar button here. Let me see if I can bring this in real quick. So I don't think we're gonna have any healing data because the way it is, right? Yeah, I overhealed 500,000. You know, max potential heal. Here, let's do it like this. Healing timeline. No, that's not what I want. Healing summary. There we go. So, not really useful here. So, I overhealed a lot because no one's taking any damage, right? So, you know, it's kind of like that. I only healed myself for 42,000 because that was what my my heal over time was doing, right? But you can see the max potential heal was like 38,000. I don't have any real data. Can I like load this back further? Hops, let's go back like 7 days. Really? Oh, I didn't have the logs on. Never mind. All right, so it is what it is. I'll do a video where I show the healing, and then I'll do some breakdown of the stats from an actual fight and stuff like that. So, but other than that, like all the hotbars are the same, all the buttons are the same. I haven't really moved anything. else? Gear wise, at level 90, the best gear you can get outside of the broken mirror gear is the House of Thule tier 4 gear, which this character is a full set of. You can buy it with Marks of Valor, or you can do all the questing and drops from the House of Thule. It's easier just to buy it with Marks of Valor, so I'll tell you that right now. But you can see my focus has been heroic stamina when I can get it, along with heal amount is kind of where I'm going. HP regen, mana regen, those are useful too. But I want as much stamina as I can get so that I can cannibalize and not notice it. And I want as much healing amount, where is it at? Healing amount as I can get. That's extra healing onto my heals. So there's a chance, he's gonna heal for more, right? And like as a shaman and not a cleric, you're not the best healer in the game. Cleric is. No matter what anybody tells you, cleric is the best healer in the game. The things I can do with a cleric healer, I cannot do with a shaman. So it is what it is. But the shaman does provide a lot of utility to a group that a cleric doesn't. So it's a trade-off in the sense, but I can literally do a lot more with a cleric because I know that there's more healing power there. So it just depends on how you do it, but the utility is way far benefits that, and especially in the group game. All right, that's about it for the shaman. I can't think of anything else that I'm forgetting. AA wise, it's all auto granted, right? So you want to improve your healing if that's what you do, or improve your damage if that's what you do. Like, it just depends on what your focus is on your character. Mine is 100% healing at the sacrifice of anything else. And so you're going to get all the healing gift boons, gift of mana, all that kind of nonsense. Make sure you have all that abundant healing so that you can do the best job that you can possibly do as the healer, which is your job as a bear. But I think that covers everything for the shaman. If I missed anything or you got any more questions, please let me know. And I do remember I will be doing a final level 90 video in one of the zones just to kind of show some actual stats on in actual combat with everybody working together. And if you want to watch how I multi-blocks all these characters together, you can watch the Hobbs and Friends series on the channel. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.